Imagine the scene. It's a crisp autumn morning in the heart of the Rocky Mountains. The air is so cold you can see your breath, and the golden aspens are shivering in the wind. Suddenly, the silence is shattered by a sound that echoes through the valleys. A high-pitched bugling call that sends shivers down your spine. This is the sound of the Wapiti, the North American elk, and it's a declaration of power. Two massive bull elk, each weighing nearly half a ton, stand face to face in a frost-covered meadow. Their breath steams in the chilly air, their eyes locked in a primal challenge that has played out for thousands of years. This is nature at its most raw and powerful. They lower their heads, their enormous antlers, intricate chandeliers of solid bone, pointing forward like spears. With a deafening crash, they collide. The ground trembles beneath them as they push, shove, and twist, each bull trying to overpower the other. This isn't just a fight, it's a living metaphor, the very embodiment of an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. The driving instinctual power of the Wapiti, its need to survive, to reproduce, to dominate, crashes against the unyielding realities of its world. The rival bull, the harshness of the coming winter, the very mountains themselves, all are immovable objects in its path. It is a spectacular and violent ballet, a testament to the sheer will of this incredible animal. This dramatic confrontation is more than just a seasonal spectacle, it is the essence of the Wapiti's existence. These creatures are true forces of nature, built for endurance and driven by an unstoppable will. They are giants of the forest and plains, icons of the untamed wilderness of North America. From the tips of their powerful antlers to the bottoms of their sturdy hooves, every part of the Wapiti is designed for strength and resilience. They have faced down predators, survived brutal winters, and adapted to changing landscapes for millennia. Their story is one of constant motion, of pushing forward no matter the obstacle. Throughout this journey, we're going to explore what makes the Wapiti such an incredible symbol of wild power. We will delve into its biology, its critical role in the ecosystem, and its deep cultural significance. We'll also look at the modern challenges that test its resilience like never before. The story of the Wapiti is a powerful reminder that in the wild, survival is a constant negotiation between an animal's innate strength and the world that pushes back. It is a dynamic, breathtaking struggle that defines one of North America's most magnificent creatures. So, let's get ready to dive into the world of this unstoppable force of nature. When you look at a full-grown bull Wapiti, the first thing that strikes you is its sheer size and power. These are not delicate creatures, they are living, breathing engines of muscle and bone. A mature bull can stand 5 feet tall at the shoulder and weigh up to 1,000 pounds. That's like having a small car roaming through the forest. Their bodies are covered in a thick, shaggy coat that changes with the seasons. In the summer, it's a sleek, copper-brown color, but as winter approaches it grows into a dense, light tan coat that provides incredible insulation against the biting cold. This adaptability is key to their survival, allowing them to thrive in blistering summer heat and sub-zero winter blizzards. Of course, you can't talk about a bull Wapiti without talking about its antlers. These aren't just decorations. They are incredible biological marvels and formidable weapons. Grown and shed every single year, a mature bull's antlers can weigh up to 40 pounds and spread over 4 feet wide. This is one of the fastest growing tissues in the animal kingdom, growing up to an inch a day during the peak summer months. Covered in a soft, blood-rich skin called velvet, the antlers harden into solid bone just in time for the autumn rut. They are a clear signal of the bull's health, age, and genetic fitness, a billboard advertising his strength to both potential mates and rivals. The Wapiti's strength isn't just for show. These animals are built for endurance and incredible bursts of speed. With long, powerful legs, they can run at speeds up to 35 miles per hour and are surprisingly agile, capable of leaping over obstacles with grace. They are also fantastic swimmers, able to cross wide, fast-flowing rivers during their long migrations. This physical prowess is essential for escaping predators like wolves and mountain lions. Their senses are just as sharp. Large, swiveling ears can pick up the faintest sounds, and a keen sense of smell can detect danger from a great distance. They are constantly alert, always scanning their environment. But perhaps the Wapiti's greatest strength is its adaptability. Originally found across most of North America, from forests to grasslands, they have learned to survive in a wide range of habitats. They are primarily herbivores, with a diet that shifts depending on the season. In the summer, they feast on lush grasses and wildflowers, building up fat reserves. In the winter, when food is scarce, they use their strong hooves to dig through deep snow to find dried grasses and browse on twigs and bark. This flexibility in diet and behavior is what allows them to be such a successful and widespread species, a true unstoppable force in the face of environmental change. For every bit of the Wapiti's unstoppable power, there is an immovable object pushing back. This is the fundamental law of nature, a system of checks and balances that keeps the entire ecosystem in harmony. The most immediate immovable objects for a Wapiti are the physical challenges of its environment. Think about a brutal Rocky Mountain winter. The snow can pile up several feet deep, making movement exhausting and burying food sources completely. Temperatures can plummet to dangerously low levels, forcing the Wapiti to burn through its precious fat reserves just to stay warm. The mountains themselves, steep, rugged, and unforgiving, present a constant obstacle, making every step of their migration a test of endurance. Another major immovable object is predation. Wapiti are a primary food source for some of North America's most formidable predators, creating a life-and-death drama that plays out every day. Wolf packs in particular are masters at hunting elk. They are intelligent, cooperative hunters that can test a herd for weaknesses, singling out the old, the sick, or the very young. A single wolf is no match for a healthy adult Wapiti, but a coordinated pack can bring down even the strongest bull. Grizzly bears and mountain lions also prey on Wapiti, especially calves. This constant threat of predation shapes Wapiti behavior, forcing them to be perpetually vigilant and to live in herds for safety in numbers. The herd itself can be both a strength and a limitation. While there is safety in numbers, there is also intense competition. During the autumn rut, bulls engage in violent, exhausting battles for the right to mate. These fights can result in serious injuries or even death. Even outside of the rut, there is competition for the best grazing spots and shelter. The social hierarchy within the herd dictates who gets access to these resources, creating another layer of challenges. The very structure that provides safety also creates internal pressure, an immovable object born from their own social dynamics. It's a complex trade-off that every individual has to navigate. Ultimately, the greatest immovable object is the landscape itself, and the finite resources it contains. An ecosystem can only support a certain number of Wapiti before the food runs out. This concept, known as carrying capacity, is nature's ultimate check on population growth. If Wapiti numbers become too high, they can overgraze an area, destroying the very plants they need to survive. This can lead to starvation and disease, which naturally reduce the population. In this way, the environment itself, the land, the seasons, the predators, and the availability of food, acts as the ultimate immovable object, shaping the destiny of the Wapiti and ensuring that its force never goes completely unchecked. The Wapiti is far more than just a magnificent resident of the wilderness, it is a keystone species. This means it plays a critical role in shaping the entire ecosystem around it. Its influence is so profound that if you were to remove the Wapiti, the whole environment would change dramatically. One of the most significant ways they shape their world is through their grazing and browsing habits. By eating grasses, shrubs, and young trees, they help maintain open meadows and prevent forests from becoming too dense. This creates a mosaic of different habitats that benefits a huge variety of other species, from insects and songbirds to small mammals that thrive in these open, sunlit spaces. Their impact extends even to the rivers. In areas where Wapiti browse heavily on willows and aspens along riverbanks, the streams can become wider and more eroded. But when predators like wolves keep Wapiti herds on the move, preventing them from lingering in one spot for too long, the willows and other riverside plants have a chance to grow back. This stabilizes the riverbanks, provides shade that keeps the water cool for fish, and creates habitat for beavers. The beavers in turn build dams that create wetlands, further increasing the biodiversity of the area. This intricate chain of events, known as a trophic cascade, all starts with the Wapiti and its relationship with its predators. Wapiti also play a vital role in nutrient cycling. As they move across vast landscapes, they consume plants in one area and deposit nutrient-rich droppings in another, effectively fertilizing the soil. This helps to distribute nutrients more evenly across the ecosystem, promoting healthy plant growth. Furthermore, when a Wapiti dies, its carcass becomes a crucial source of food for a whole host of scavengers. Bears, coyotes, eagles, and even insects benefit from this windfall, especially during the harsh winter months when food is scarce. Even their shed antlers don't go to waste. Rodents and other small animals gnaw on them for their rich calcium and other minerals. In every sense, the wapiti is an ecosystem engineer. Its daily activities, eating, moving, and interacting with other species, create the conditions necessary for a healthy, vibrant, and diverse wilderness. They are the gardeners of the forest and the plains, pruning and shaping the landscape in ways that support countless other forms of life. Without the constant pressure and influence of the wapiti, the wild places we cherish would look and function very differently. Their role as a keystone species highlights the incredible interconnectedness of nature, where the actions of one animal can ripple outwards to affect the entire community. They are truly the kings of their domain. The wapiti's importance extends far beyond its ecological role. For thousands of years it has held a deep and powerful cultural significance for the indigenous peoples of North America. The name wapiti itself comes from the Shawnee and Cree word wapiti, meaning white rump, which is a pretty fitting description of the animal's light-colored hindquarters. For many tribes, the wapiti was not just a source of food, clothing, and tools, it was a sacred animal, a symbol of strength, endurance, and nobility. It featured prominently in stories, ceremonies, and art, representing a powerful spiritual connection to the natural world. Every part of the animal was used respectfully, from the meat that provided sustenance to the hide that offered shelter and warmth. The wapiti's antlers in particular held special meaning. They were used to make tools, ornaments, and ceremonial objects. The image of the bugling bull elk became a powerful symbol of virility, passion, and the untamed spirit of the wild. Many creation stories and legends feature the wapiti as a guide, a protector, or a being with great spiritual power. The annual migration of the elk herds was a significant event, marking the changing of the seasons and providing a vital source of food before the long winter. The relationship between indigenous peoples and the wapiti was one of deep reciprocity, built on a foundation of respect and an intimate understanding of the animal's place in the world. Even in modern culture, the wapiti continues to be a potent symbol of the American wilderness. It's an icon of our national parks, like Yellowstone and Rocky Mountain National Park, where millions of people come each year hoping to catch a glimpse of these magnificent animals. The image of a bull elk with a massive rack of antlers set against a backdrop of snow-capped peaks has become almost synonymous with wild, untamed nature. It represents a freedom and a raw power that many people feel has been lost in our increasingly urbanized world. The wapiti reminds us of the grandeur and beauty that still exists in our wild places. This symbolic role has also made the wapiti a central figure in the conservation movement. It was the near extinction of species like the wapiti and the bison in the late 19th century that helped spark the creation of America's first national parks and wildlife refuges. The effort to save the wapiti became a rallying cry for protecting wild landscapes and the creatures that inhabit them. Today, organizations like the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation are dedicated to ensuring the future of elk, other wildlife, their habitat, and our hunting heritage. The wapiti is not just an animal, it's a legacy, a symbol of our connection to the wild and our responsibility to protect it for future generations. While the wapiti has proven its resilience for millennia, it now faces a new set of formidable human-made challenges. Perhaps the most significant threat is habitat loss and fragmentation. As human populations expand, roads, cities, and agricultural developments are carving up the vast open landscapes that wapiti need to survive. These developments create barriers that disrupt their ancient migration routes, cutting them off from critical wintering grounds or summer ranges. This fragmentation isolates populations, making them more vulnerable to genetic problems and local extinctions. An animal built to roam free is finding its world getting smaller and more disconnected every year. Climate change is another major immovable object in the wapiti's path. Warmer, drier summers are leading to more frequent and intense wildfires, which can destroy huge swaths of their habitat. While fire can be a natural and beneficial part of the ecosystem, the scale and intensity we are seeing today can be devastating. Changes in temperature and precipitation also affect the plants that wapiti rely on for food. The timing of spring greenup may shift, creating a mismatch between when the most nutritious food is available and when wapiti calves are born and need it most. This subtle but critical disruption can have a major impact on calf survival rates. Disease is also an ever-present threat, one that is often made worse by other stressors like habitat loss. Chronic wasting disease, or CWD, a fatal neurological illness similar to mad cow disease, is a growing concern for wapiti and other deer species across North America. The disease is highly contagious and there is no known cure. As wapiti are forced into smaller areas or congregate at artificial feeding grounds in the winter, the risk of disease transmission increases dramatically. Managing the spread of CWD is one of the most complex and urgent challenges facing wildlife managers today, a modern plague that threatens the long-term health of wapiti populations. Finally, the wapiti must navigate a world with increasing human-wildlife conflict. As people move closer to wild areas, encounters between humans and elk become more common. This can lead to problems like wapiti grazing on agricultural crops, causing traffic accidents, or becoming too habituated to humans in towns and national parks, which can be dangerous for both people and the animals. These modern challenges, habitat loss, climate change, disease, and human conflict, are the new immovable objects. They are complex and interconnected, testing the wapiti's legendary adaptability in ways it has never been tested before. The unstoppable force of the wapiti is now running up against the consequences of a rapidly changing world. Faced with these modern challenges, a dedicated army of scientists, conservationists, hunters, and volunteers has stepped up to become guardians of the wapiti. The conservation of this iconic species is a story of incredible success and ongoing effort. A cornerstone of wapiti conservation is habitat protection and restoration. Organizations work with private landowners, government agencies, and local communities to protect critical migration corridors and seasonal ranges. This often involves purchasing land outright or creating conservation easements, which are legal agreements that prevent future development, while allowing traditional land uses like ranching to continue in a wildlife-friendly way. Wildlife management is another crucial piece of the puzzle. State and federal wildlife agencies conduct extensive research to monitor wapiti populations, tracking their numbers, health, and movements. This data allows them to make informed decisions about managing the herds, including setting sustainable hunting quotas. Regulated hunting is a vital conservation tool. It helps to keep wapiti populations in balance with their habitat, preventing overgrazing and reducing the risk of disease outbreaks. The revenue generated from hunting licenses and taxes on outdoor gear provides a significant source of funding for conservation efforts, directly supporting the animals and the landscapes they depend on. Reintroduction programs have also played a phenomenal role in the wapiti's comeback story. By the early 1900s, wapiti had been eliminated from much of their historical range, especially in the eastern United States. Starting in the 20th century, conservationists began the long and difficult process of translocating wapiti from healthy populations in the West to suitable habitats in states like Kentucky, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. These reintroduction efforts have been remarkably successful, re-establishing wild, free-ranging elk herds in places where they hadn't been seen for over a century. It's a powerful testament to the idea that with dedication we can begin to heal the wounds of the past. Public education and outreach are also essential. By teaching people about the wapiti's ecological importance and the challenges it faces, conservation groups build a broad base of support for their work. When people understand and appreciate these magnificent animals, they are more likely to support policies that protect wildlife and wild places. From school programs to visitor centers and national parks, these efforts foster a sense of shared responsibility for the future of the wapiti. The ongoing effort to protect this species is a collaborative one, requiring the combined force of science, policy, and public passion to ensure this unstoppable force continues to roam our wild landscapes. The story of the wapiti is a powerful saga of strength, resilience, and adaptation. It begins with the raw, untamed energy of a bull crashing its antlers against a rival, a perfect metaphor for an unstoppable force. This force is woven into every fiber of its being, its powerful muscles, its incredible endurance, and its instinctual drive to survive and thrive. For thousands of years, this force has propelled the wapiti through the seasons, across vast landscapes, and in the face of formidable predators. It is the lifeblood of the species, the engine that has allowed it to become such an enduring symbol of the North American wilderness. Yet this force does not exist in a vacuum. It is constantly met and shaped by the immovable objects of the natural world. The harshness of winter, the ruggedness of the mountains, the ever-present threat of predators, and the finite limits of the land itself all serve to contain and direct the wapiti's power. This dynamic tension is not a conflict to be won, but an eternal dance that creates balance and harmony within the ecosystem. The Wapiti shapes its environment, and in turn, the environment shapes the Wapiti. It's in this beautiful complex interplay that the true health of the wilderness is found. Today, the immovable objects are changing. The ancient challenges of tooth and claw are now joined by the modern obstacles of habitat loss, climate change, and disease. These human-driven pressures are testing the Wapiti's resilience in new and profound ways, pushing the boundaries of its adaptability. The dance has become more complex, the steps more uncertain. The future of this magnificent animal is no longer guaranteed by its own strength alone. It now depends on our actions. We have become the most significant immovable object in the Wapiti's world, with the power to either constrict its path or clear it. The ongoing story of the Wapiti is therefore a reflection of our own relationship with the natural world. It serves as a powerful reminder of the delicate balance that sustains life and the responsibility we have to be thoughtful stewards of our wild heritage. The bugle of the bull elk echoing through the mountains is more than just a sound, it is a call to action. It's a declaration that the unstoppable force of nature is still here, still fighting, still pushing forward. It's our choice whether we stand as an unyielding barrier in its way or as partners in its eternal beautiful dance.